guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to my channel. You guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I cover a series of topics including traveling, dating, and then just like healing in real life, social issues, different topics, things like that. And if you are old and you've been here for a while, thank you so much for remaining here with me, supporting me, and inviting other friends over to join me, okay? Sorry if I look tired. I am exhausted. But I'm here today because I needed to kick off the new year 2022 with you guys, okay? So I actually had a 2022 staycation travel vlog for you guys. I stayed in DC for the new year from New Year's Eve until New Year's Day, and I stayed in this really cute hotel, had a lot of fun, but I actually did not record content. So I started off recording it and I didn't finish it. So that would have been a great little vlog. Unfortunately, I don't have footage, but I will do another staycation soon, maybe in the summer or the spring. So stay tuned for that. But let's just get into this topic today, okay? So let's talk about this Fresh and Fit podcast, bruh. I really didn't want to give them any attention more than what they already have. But this last episode, antic, occurrence, situation, just really put the icing on the cake for me, okay? So I had heard of Fresh and Fit through a few other like content creators. It never actually popped up on my like things to watch on YouTube. I never like went to them just to watch them because I enjoy them. But being that I do put out like dating content, you know, I did hear about it from like other content creators. So I did see a few clips from them, and I do listen to a content creator named Adam Ali, and he actually had them on his podcast a while back. And I remember just listening to that and being like, ugh, like, Adam, this is tainting your brand. This is not a good look for you because, I mean, you only know people so well from social media, but from what I can see of Adam, he seems to be like a stand-up guy, a really great father. I'm not going to say he's perfect, but he seems to have like genuine intentions and things like that. He's been married before, and the way these men were speaking on his podcast, degrading women, calling women out of their names, some of the like ideology behind dating and like their methods of dating and how they keep women in check, it was just not really aligning with what I knew of Adam. So I'm like, you might not want to host them again because it just really looks bad for you. It makes people think that you possibly are in agreement with whatever they're saying, which is like total trash, right? So I also follow another YouTuber, and she is based in Florida. By the way, Fresh and Fit podcast is based in Florida. And so she's been on there a few times. But like I said, I hadn't really checked it out. So just based on the clips, you get these like really nasty comments, irate content, really just disrespectful and degrading. Those are the only two words that I can use to best describe this content, right? And for me, it's almost the same way that I feel about Kevin Samuels. If you guys haven't seen, I made a video on Kevin Samuels a while back, probably like a year or two ago. And I basically said, like, I don't hate Kevin Samuels. What I more so find to be appalling and disgusting is that women degrade themselves and think so little of themselves that they actually go on these platforms and express themselves, cry out, dump all their baggage, actually trust these men to give them really good advice. And it's like, you've seen these men disrespect women over and over again. You've seen how these men talk to women. You can pretty much get a good idea of how much they don't like women, right? Like, not just fat women, not just black women, not just educated women, all women. Okay, like there's an issue with every type of woman on this earth. The single mothers are trash. The independent, hardworking woman is trash. The CEO is trash. The woman working at Burger King is trash. The skinny woman is trash. The thick woman is trash. The short woman is trash. The woman who went and got liposuction and a BBL is trash. The woman who's a vegan and eats really healthy is trash. Like, it's like no escaping being trash, right? Like, there's just nothing good that's going to be said about your situation, right? So I basically harp on that. Like, women, we need to have more respect for ourselves, have a better appreciation, more confidence, higher self-esteem than to go on these shows and literally allow men to talk down on us, right? And so these women that go on Fresh and Fit, I don't know what's properly going through their mind. Like, are you guys doing it just for clout to say, hey, like, tag my handle on there, I was on Fresh and Fit, follow me, like that type of thing? Or is it like, hey, I'm actually going on here because I want to prove a point, like I agree with these men, or I don't mind being disrespected by these men? Like, I don't get the point in going on there at all, right? On top of the fact that these men pretty much don't like black women. Like, we can say that, right? Mind you, one of the guys is of black African-American descent. I'm not sure whether he's African-American, whether he's African or Caribbean, but he is of African descent. I believe the other guy is as well. He's definitely not white. He's some type of minority. So that is disgusting to me that both of these men who are minorities hate minority women. Like, that's just so, like, to me, okay? So most recently, Asian Doll, Asian the Brat, if you guys don't know who that is, she's like a young rapper. I think she might be 25, 26, maybe younger than that. Young female rapper. She was the ex of King Von, who unfortunately lost his life not too long ago. Rest in peace to him. And she went on there, not exactly sure why. Like I said, I feel like some women go on there just to be like, hey, I was on here, like, you know, gain more followers, whatever it may be. But she ends up telling the guy Myron Gaines. So there's two guys on there. Myron Gaines is the one that I'm really gonna harp on today, but there's another one called Fresh Prince or something like that. Not sure of his real name, but anyway, she goes to tell Myron that he is basically mean. Like, she's like, you're mean, because he snaps on some girl basically saying like, no more side chatter, I told you this once before, be quiet or you're gonna get kicked off the show, which is like his thing. Like, he comes off as this real like parental figure, like, I'm your dad, you do what I say or you're gonna get punished, right? Which is like super weird. It's like a really odd dynamic, especially being that a lot of these women are like either his age or just a few years younger. It's so strange, you guys, like super weird. So he basically, you know, yells at these girls or whatever, and they kind of shut up, which once again is weird as hell. And then Asian the Brat or Asian Doll is like, you're mean. Like, she says it in like a laughing, joking way, but she means like, you're mean, because that was just like really disgusting and weird how he did that. So he's like, what do you mean I mean? What do you mean I mean? You don't even know what's going on. You come on here and you're telling me that I'm mean, but I'm not mean. I just have rules. There's rules to be on this show. Like, he's so uptight, so cringy, so narcissistic, so unhappy with himself, unhappy in his skin, uncomfortable in his skin, not living in his masculinity. I mean, everything triggers the guy. You laugh, he gets angry. You say something he doesn't like, he gets angry. You disagree with him, he gets angry. Like he's like a ticking time bomb. He's so fragile, so fragile. And it's like these women submit to his antics. Like, you're not gonna, if I'm 25, let's say, and he's 28, You're 3 years older than me. Sir, you're not going to talk to me like you're my dad, telling me to sit down and shut up and you'll get kicked off my show if you don't do this and that. It's just like the dynamic of that podcast is weird. Like, I don't even know any other way to describe it. So for me, an educated person, a thinker, a debater, I enjoy content where, first of all, the people are mentally stable, right? The environment, the interactions are, for the most part, peaceful or calm, right? Because educated people, when they debate, they don't have to get irate. They don't have to call each other out of their names. They don't have to hate each other after the debate. It can just be, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, she has an opinion, they have an opinion. That's it. And you also don't invite people to your show and then threaten them 24/7 to kick them off if they do anything outside of what you want them to do. So weird, right? And so the podcast really doesn't offer any insight, any good advice, any true meat. Like, it's just like a show with two angry men that are constantly expressing how much they don't like women, expressing every detail about why they don't like women, expressing how horrible today's women are, expressing the fact that if they are with a woman or choose to date a woman, she'll have to do this, and that to basically win them over. So they have this ideology where it's like the man is the prize, and if the woman acts up, you have to punish her. So I've heard Myron say things like, oh, well, if a woman cancels on a date, you just allow her, you step back, you let her cancel, and then the next time you allow her to basically chase you and like pay you back for your time wasted. So like, say he invites a girl out on a date, she's like, hey, I'm not gonna make it tonight, I have to study or whatever, right? And he's like, okay, cool. And then like 2 weeks later, she's like, hey Myron, like, let's go on a date, I think that I have some free time now, I'd really like to catch up with you. His whole thing is like, okay, now that she's wasted my time, I'm gonna make her earn my time back. So now she has to take me on a date. Yes, he legit said that. He said that the second time around, when she comes back wanting to spend time with you, you make her pay for it. You tell her, okay, the first round of shots are on me. Or, okay, you're going to pay for this dinner. Really wild stuff, right? Really feminine energy. And the sad thing about it is that he is speaking to so many young men, so many misguided young men, so many uninformed young men, so many insecure young men who don't have a real man to turn these ideologies around and tell him what he should really be doing, what it's really like to be a man, how to really court a woman, how to respect a woman, how to love a woman, right? A lot of these young boys, they don't have that father figure, they don't have that uncle, they don't have that mentor. And so listening to these podcasts like Kevin Samuels, like Fresh and Fit, it's like you are literally pouring toxicity into young men who don't even have a chance. If they're listening to this at 19, 23, 25, that's their prime dating time, right? Their prime years where they can really find a great female, right? They're in college. There's so many beautiful, like-minded, educated women in college. There's so many of them that they could find maybe right out of high school. So many of them they can find maybe in grad school, maybe jumping right out into corporate America. But you've put so many toxic ideologies into their head that they're just like, nope, 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 hate women. Yep, you're right. Fresh and Fit said this. Yeah, Kevin Samuel said this. And next thing you know, they're gonna be like 30 and be like, oh shit, why can't I find a good woman? What have I done in my prime dating years? Oh shoot, I'm 35, I'm 38. I let all these great women pass me because Myron said that you shouldn't date a black woman. And Kevin Samuel said that you shouldn't date an educated woman. And it's just like, for the people who can't think for themselves, these types of podcasts are so toxic, okay? I mean, like, the damage that they're doing is almost, it can't be rectified sometimes. Like, it's almost like you cannot go back and fix these things, right? And that was just 2 podcasts to mention out of so many more, right? And so it's like everywhere you turn, you have these really toxic men spewing out this really toxic information, and it's just really hurting dating. And one question I've asked myself so many times is like, okay, if these men don't like any type of woman, right? They don't like I just went down the list. They don't like the smart woman. They don't like the tall woman. They don't like the fat woman. They don't like the single mother. They don't like the educated woman. They don't like the lawyer. They don't like the clerk at CVS. Like, what type of woman are you going to end up with? Is it gonna be a woman? Because at this point, if you don't like any woman, what do you do next? If none of these women meet your needs or meet your criteria or are good enough for you, who are you gonna date? You guys are literally saying wife, 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 wife in every other sentence. Family, kids. How do you do that without a woman? If none of these women meet your standards, who are you starting the family with? Who are you having sex with? Who are you marrying? Who's going to be your girlfriend? Like, if you don't like any of these types of women, you do realize that leaves you with a man, right? Like, I don't get it at all. You cannot spew out hatred for women, hatred for women, hatred for women, and then expect to attract good women. What the main focus needs to be on is attracting what you want, going after what you want. And I mentioned this in my video called Men, This Is Why You're Having Trouble Dating. A lot of times I see that these men are focusing on the negative, right? So they're focusing on all the women they say they don't want. But then they're still chasing those women, right? So you're saying, oh, these women are gold diggers. Oh, they're using me. Oh, they're asking me to take them out for dinner and then they're ghosting me. And it's like, but you're still pursuing that same type of woman, right? So is that insanity? Like, the repetition of the same thing that's giving the same results? I mean, if you want different, you have to go after what you're looking for. And same for women. Like, and I think that women kind of finally woke up and realized that, like, that bad boy, that gangsta is not really what you want. Now that we've realized that brings so many headaches, they're going to end up dead or in jail. They aren't going to be there for their kids. They're not the right man to raise a family with or to marry. Now we've kind of curtailed what we're looking for in a guy, and it's more so like, okay, you know, I do want a stand-up guy, I do want an educated guy, I do want this and that, da 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 da. But men, I don't think y'all have reached that point yet where you're realizing that, okay, she's bad, she's a straight baddie, bomb body. But with her being a baddie, she has 8 million other dudes on her line. And with you meeting her last week and offering to take her on a shopping spree and out to eat and pay for her hair and nails and fly her out, she probably has 10 other men doing that. So when she ghosts you because what? Y'all haven't ever had a really deep conversation. There's no real connection there. You guys don't even really know each other. You haven't vetted each other. You don't even know if you're compatible. Now all of a sudden, when she up and leaves or she ghosts you or she hurts your feelings, it's like, oh, these women, this and that, da da da. But you are not looking for a good woman. There's great men out here and there's great women out here. And we're overlooking each other because we're so focused on, well, this is what social media says I could have, or I'm pretty enough to have a guy like this, or I'm handsome enough to have a woman like this, or I just feel like this is arm candy. If I come through with her, my boys will be hyped. But what we gotta realize is like being good for the soul outweighs everything else. Trust me, I've been with extremely handsome men, and I've been with average men, and then I've been with not so handsome men. And those looks really don't matter when it comes to the personality, okay? Some really, really handsome men with so much going for themselves have nasty personalities, and that turns you off so quickly. The same with females. Beautiful women, drop dead gorgeous, toxic as hell. Beauty does not raise your children. Beauty does not make you happy. Beauty does not keep your home peaceful. Do you know how many of my guy friends have been with gorgeous women, and they come to me and they tell me, I literally was not at peace ever. The home was toxic. She was hitting me. She called the police on me. She filed this protective order on me. She's doing this and that. She's ruining my job. She's ruining my life. Da 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 da. You don't want that. Like, that might have been cute, that toxic stuff, maybe in high school. But now when you have things to lose, your livelihood, your career. Yes, there are careers where if you get into a certain amount of trouble, or you get a certain charge, or something happens with your credit, you no longer have a job. Okay, like, you have to be careful of the type of people that you are letting in your life. You cannot sit here and complain constantly. Now, I get it. Like, I'm dating. You know what I mean? I know the market can be not so good, right? But I focus on what I want in a man. I'm not going to sit here and dog men out that are not of my caliber or not what I'm even entertaining, right? Okay, yeah, there's probably men out here that hit their women, that don't want to take you on a date, that don't have a car, that have no ambition. But those aren't the men that I date. So I'm focusing on the types of men that I date, the educated men, the really nice men, the men that know how to court women, the men that have something going for themselves, the men that have goals, the men that I can have really deep intellectual conversations with. And I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they don't still ghost people. I'm not saying that all of them are 100% mentally stable. I'm not saying that they don't have life issues, but I can deal with that more than I can deal with this. So I'm not going to dog men based off of this category when I can easily focus on these much better men over here, these really good candidates over here that look like my future, that look like my husband, that look like my boyfriend. And I think that a lot more people need to think like that. I think that these podcasts need to stop dwelling on the negative. I know in today's society, negativity is like the thing, right? People are so attracted to negativity, arguments, toxicity. But if these podcasts could just focus on the good women out there, or the healthy relationships, how to build a healthy relationship, how to make healthy connections, how to be more genuine and not just out here using people for clout, trying to get over on people. How can we better our relationships, right? We don't need any more advice or any more surface level things where obvious traits in people and obvious problems in the dating world are being addressed, right? We see it. We know it. We're out here dating. We have all experienced bad men and women. We have all experienced dating someone who maybe wasn't the best for us. We know that there's women out here that do certain petty things. We know that there's men out here to do certain petty things. We've all had our fair share of disruptions and bad occurrences, right? But let's not focus on that. We know that happens. That's not a secret. We don't need to talk about that every episode. How can we fix that? How about we start digging into these men and prepping them for real life, right? Real relationships with real women. How about we talk to them about the great women that they're going to encounter? How about we talk to them about how to prepare for being a father or a family man or a husband? How about we give them tips on how women operate and how women think different than men think? And same with women. How about we talk to our women about, okay, well, we want this wedding, we want this beautiful ring, we want this beautiful dress, but what comes along with being a wife? How can can you serve your good man, right? Not your little Pookie and Ray Ray that's off here having 600 babies on you and can't keep a job. But how do you serve your good man? How can you be submissive to your good husband? What does it mean to be a career-focused woman, a wife, and a mother? What does it mean to build yourself as a woman, to make sure that you're looking good, to make sure that you're speaking well, to make sure that you're bringing something to the table other than your lady parts, right? How can you really keep a man's interest, right? And I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, like I'm so desperate for a man, but like, how can you keep a man's interest based on your personality, right? Are there things within us that we need to critique? What is really our problem in dating? Are we looking for the perfect man? Do we have unrealistic expectations? Same with men. Are we looking for the perfect woman? Because that's what I think is a huge issue in the dating field right now. I mean, there was a point where you could take an average 8, got average things going on, and it'd be like, woo, we did it. Nowadays, you got a whole 10 and got more than amazing things going for themselves, and the women are like, no, and the men are like, no, like her toenail is too big, or her lips are too wide, or his neck is too black, or I don't like his hands. Like, it's like gotten to be really just like, bruh, let's be realistic. You know what I mean? But anyway, to wrap this up, Fresh and Fit podcast is extremely toxic. It's not helping anyone out. It's causing so much more damage to the already fragile and messed up dating pool that we have out here. It's messing up a lot of these men's minds, causing a lot of men to just have real hatred towards women. And on top of that, that dude Myron, now the other dude isn't great either, but the dude Myron, I seriously think he needs to see a therapist. I think outside of him trying to gain clout for social media, he legit has some internal issues that he needs to work on. I'm not sure of his past. I'm not sure of his past dating experiences. I'm not sure of his past family history, his insecurities, whatever. But men like that feel like they have to make it known how much they hate women, make it known that they hate black women, make it known that he said a few like really nasty things like, we don't go on the dark side, we like to keep it light, we don't like to mix and mingle with black women because they're so ratchet and this and that, Like, men that have to drag women of any shape, minority, race, ethnicity, height, body type, it's like, you got a problem. You have insecurities of your own. You have things that you need to deal with. And he's very angry. Any person that gets on live TV per se, and is just angry 24/7. You're fighting your own demons and you're projecting that onto other people. So yeah, men like that, you definitely need to seek therapy. You need to get the help that you need so that you can just function on your own. Forget giving advice to other people. I would not be surprised if he's not in turmoil with himself, fighting every day just to live and be happy on his own. Other than that, I would say like, just try and create your own advice when it comes to dating, right? Like, don't try and take too much from these podcasts and social media and people that just aren't looking for what you're looking for and aren't giving real solutions, right? Like, we can talk all day, we can talk about people all day, but unless you have like solution-based content, it really just puts you back at square one. So try and focus on like solution-based content. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.